everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2019, and this is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my boys at least one comic each. Oftentimes it's more than one. Pick up my daughter Gracie one as well, even though she can't read yet. And as always, I pick up my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in the area and into comics, check out the shop, then go two doors down from there and check out the toy department, the collectible toy store I'm a part of. All right, you guys ready? Cool. True Believers, continuing on with some Spider-Man reprints. Getting the vibe that it is now, you know, different powers for Spider-Man or different outfits, different transformations maybe, you know. Because last week we had Amazing Spider-Man #1 and we had the first of the armored Spider-Man suits and then the first black costume suit in continuity, if I remember right. This time around we've got True Believers #1, Amazing Spider-Man, a monster called Morbius, which is the first appearance of Morbius, but it also includes the six-armed Spider-Man. And this is written by Stan Lee and Roy Thomas with Gil Kane doing the art, and it's a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 101. And of course, as always, these True Believers are only $1 each. This one's awesome. I have this issue, the original issue. Mine's not in the best of shape, because I really don't care about what kind of condition my Spider-Mans are in. Yeah, I mean, it's six-armed Spider-Man and Morbius. That's exciting. Wait, what did I just see? Hang on, what did I just see? I just saw Spider-Ham. What did I see? Whoa. Spider-Ham, The Complete Collection, Volume 1. Coming out in June. I'm buying that. I'm going to own that. Okay, so there's the first one. Next up is True Believers, Amazing Spider-Man #1. No kind of subtitle-y type thing on this one. It is $1. This issue is where Spider-Man finds out that the black costume is a symbiote. The sinister secret of Spider-Man's new costume. Written by Tom DeFalco with Ron Frenz doing the pencils. This is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 258. He finds the black costume is kind of taking over his body, so he goes to the Fantastic Four to find out more about it and comes to the realization that it is alive and he has to get rid of it. Two great True Believers so far. Really great ones. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man vs. Hulk, True Believers #1. Now who's the strongest one there is. Great Todd McFarlane cover. This is $1, of course, because it's True Believers. And this is Cosmic Spider-Man. That's what this one involves. David Michelini is the writer, and Todd McFarlane, of course, is the artist. So this one is very fun. The kids know me talking about Todd McFarlane Spider-Man a lot. Tom McFarlane, Jim Lee, those Image guys that were big in the 90s at Marvel. I talk about their art quite a bit with them. So this will be exciting for them to have this issue with Todd McFarlane drawing a cosmic-powered Spider-Man fighting the Gray Hulk. I remember buying this brand new off the shelf and reading this and just being like, oh, this is so much fun. Yeah. All right, so that's all the True Believers. Next up, last week, I can't remember what I got her. I think I got her a Frozen comic. And I gave her to her, and she's like, Daddy, I like Frozen. I like the Frozen comic. But why don't you ever give me an X-Men comic? And I was like, oh, well, next week you're getting an X-Men comic. So I grabbed two of these X-Men Adventures comics, which were, they were $1.50, and they were reprints of, or adaptations of, rather, the animated series. So we watch the cartoon sometimes. So this will be kind of familiar to her. It's really hard to turn because it's got this stupid insert thing in the middle. So it's hard for me to flip through it. But yeah, it's just an adaptation of the comic. So this is one of the Savage Land installments. Ralph Macchio writing, John Herbert doing pencils. I wish this stupid thing would come out of here so I could look at this easier. I'm going to tear that out before I give it to her. Hopefully the next one doesn't have that because I want to show it to you. Yeah, I mean, if you got kids that are into comics and you're looking for something cheap, dang it, this one's got it too. Look in the back issues for X-Men Adventures. These were $1.60 each. So, and you know you're just going to get some classic 90s X-Men type tales. And each issue was like one episode of the series. So you kind of get a contained story, just like the cartoon was. So those are for her. Then Blaze, I only had one book this week for him, one new book, and I had two for Keaton. So I told him, hey dude, what do you want me to grab? And he was like, I don't know, just grab something from the back issues that's randomly, that you do sometimes, that you've read before or you enjoyed or something. I'm like, okay, cool. So he talks about Jim Lee and the evolution of Jim Lee's art. So I grabbed him this Jim Lee Wildcats issue 1 from Image, so he can go back and see where Jim Lee was at when he helped found Image. And this is co-created and written by Jim Lee, Brandon Choi, also co-creating and writing, Scott Williams doing inks, and of course Jim Lee pencils. And you know, even this was great. This is great for the time. Jim Lee was really solid back then, but he's even past this point now. He's one of those artists that continually gets better over time. He's not just the same art style since the 90s. He's improved upon himself. And this, if I remember right, this was a fun read. At least the first few issues of this book were pretty fun. Okay, now back on to current books. We got Silver Surfer Black, #1. I bought this for Blaze because he's been interested in some Silver Surfer stuff. This is by Donnie Cates and Trad Moore. It's got a funky cover and I think funky interiors too. This Trad Moore guy. Donnie Cates does the story and script. Trad Moore does the story and art. The galaxy was in chaos after Thanos, the Mad Titan, was killed. The Cosmos' greatest warriors gathered to hear the reading of his last will and testament, only to be attacked by Thanos' Black Order. In the ensuing battle, the Black Order opened a black hole and cast several heroes, including Silver Surfer, into the abyss. Now, drowning and unmoored in an endless void, the Surfer is lost. Okay. All right. That sounds kind of interesting. And if he's in like a weird black holes type situation in crazy weird space, this guy's weird art might be perfect for it. This is some weird art, though. I'm not sure if Blaze is going to dig this or not. But look at this. It's pretty trippy. Like it's supposed to be like he's going through crazy stuff. All right. That reminds me of... Oh. This reminds me of Frank Quietly. That guy's totally trying to be Frank Quietly there. Yeah. All right. Oh, the price on this one... So far, it's all been like reprints and back issues. But the price on this one is $3.99. Next up, we've got Venom #15 for Keaton. He continually leads Venom. He likes Venom. I think it's a new creative team now, past what it was before. Written by Cullen Bunn, illustrated by Iben Coelho something, and it's $3.99. I know Venom was separated from his symbiote for a while there. I don't know if that's still going on. I don't know who this dude is. I'm not so sure about this. I guess this is a War of the Realms tie-in. I'll have to ask Keaton if he's reading this right now, if it's confusing due to the War of the Realms thing, and maybe we should stop until War of the Realms is over. We'll see. Next is another book for Keaton, and that is Transformers #7 from the restarted, trimmed-down continuity book. This one came bagged because it's got this pack of Transformers trading cards inside there. Or playing cards? So you can look at a trading card game. Trading card game. It came with a pack of cards. That's kind of fun. That reminds me of comics in the 90s where you get like a pack of cards or a card or two. This is $3.99. Written by Brian Ruckley, art by 3 different people again. So I wonder if that means there's 3 different stories again, because that's what they were doing at first, where the 3 different stories had 3 different artists, and then they kind of converged over time. Yeah, I'll have to ask him what's going on in this book. It looks good. And I was reading it at first. I haven't read it in a little bit now. But it was readable. It was understandable. All right. Next up is a book for me, X-Force #9. I decided to start picking up X-Force recently. I have not read them all yet, though. I've gone back and picked up the back issues. So I do have all 9 of them. Look at this team. Cable, Domino, Shatterstar, Warpath, Cannonball, Deathlock, Boom Boom. That's a lot of 90s, baby. Writer is Ed Brisson. Artist is Dylan Burnett. I did read the first one of these, and I really liked this guy's art. This Dylan Burnett guy. It's got a very quirky underground comics feel to it. And I kept thinking about this book, and I decided to go back and get them. So now I have them all. I just have to read them. I did enjoy that first issue, so hopefully it holds up as time goes on. Invaders number 6, also for me, by Chip Zdarsky, by art by Carlos Magno and Butch Guice. This is the story where Namor is kind of going crazy and is going to like wage war on the humans, and it flashes back to World War II where the invaders were all together. And the flashback sequences are usually drawn by Butch Guice, and the other guy draws the modern day stuff, which I think is really fun. I like that it differentiates the flashback stuff from the current day stuff. And everything's coming to a head in this issue. Looks like Iron Man shows up and Captain Marvel. Big fight, I think, is about to happen. So. And last, but certainly not least, Major X number 5. Yeah, I've said before that Uncanny X-Men's probably my most enjoyable book right now, or my favorite monthly book. But Major X, this is my guilty pleasure right here, man. I really have fun reading Major X. I picked up the first one as a joke, as kind of somebody's got to read this, and somebody's got to see what this art's like. But the more I read it, the more I enjoy it, because it really has this 90s vibe. I said in the last video with the Major X that Liefeld maybe is a better writer than he is an artist, because he writes like a 90s comic. I mean, he drew so many 90s comics that's in his blood, so he can write a 90s style X-Men comic. This one has the first appearance of this female character. I don't know who it is. It looks like, again, it's not Liefeld on pencils. He has a pencil since the first one. Brent Peoples, I think, did the second and then the last one. And Will Portaccio did one of them, too. This guy is obviously trying to do sort of a Liefeld style, but he handles anatomy better than Liefeld and backgrounds better than Liefeld. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You're getting Liefeld writing it, and a guy sort of doing Liefeld style, but doing it better. This is a fun read. Yeah, look at that. That's fun, man. Looks like Sentinels. Yeah, the last issue, I think I got taken to a time with the Sentinels, if I remember right. I don't want to read too much for it, because I actually do want to read this. Okay, so that is everything this week. As always, if you have a suggestion, leave it in the comment section below. If you read any of these books and you have an opinion on them, leave it down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos. And see you guys Sunday night for the live stream if you want to come on there. It's usually around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we start it up. We talk about toys and comics and all that stuff. Yeah, okay. See you guys next time.